Right, certainly things are heating up here on the floor as we continue to monitor that leaderboard. It's going to be a lot more hours, Ayanda, before we get a true sense of which way this election is going. A lot of new players, we've been having this conversation. Those are some of the questions that you posed, to the political analysts that you've been speaking to about what level of, how will we see these new political parties play their role? OHM is one of those parties that was formed in 2018, and a lot of where your focus was on more ideology, what it is that you were telling the electorate you would do should you be given the opportunity. Thank you very much for joining us. Your prospects?
Well, it's a slow start, but we're hoping it picks up. The first step is just to get in the door. We're a grassroots party. We don't have major billionaire backers or experienced politicians. We started from the ground up. So if we can just get that 1 or 2 seats, then we'll be well on our way to where we're trying to go.
So you believe that what you've done thus far, at least what we're looking at now, OHM at 545, but it's still very early.
Yeah, no, it is. And we're hoping that I'll pick up because a lot of our stronger districts is still got to come in. It's still early days.
All right, thank you very much indeed. We do appreciate your time. We're going to look now for the UDM. Let's move through this particular location here. All right, and where was the UDM? Again, guys, there was somewhere trying to have a look. Hi, Kunjani Bab. Sikon. All right, we had placed the UDM somewhere here, and there they are. All right, there we go. Let's bring in the UDM. Hello. So this morning, how are you feeling?
Well, it's too early to tell because we are still only at 14%. That is only counted and captured. For instance, we're looking at the Winnie Madikizile Mandlele. There's still outstanding VDs. So we're waiting for about 50%. 50% is really going to get us jittery. For now, we're just trying to capture as much information as coming through, compared against 2019 and also 2021, and see where we stand in our strongholds in the Eastern Cape.
Right. But one of the areas that I was looking at, you recall just shortly after midnight, the results for the Winnie Madikizela Mandela municipality had been declared. That was at the Bizana Baptist Church. And I think then, let's see what the UDM got. In 2019, you got 332. But where you're standing at the moment is at 82. Some kind of regression for the UDM, and specifically also taking a look at the new player in that particular municipality, the MK, which has also made inroads there, possibly taken some of your votes.
Unfortunately, that's democracy, and yes, the MK has been great in getting out the young votes, and we've noticed that and we've seen that. And not only them, the Patriot Alliance is also a player in that field, so we are just going to have to see what the voters have decided to do, and perhaps in other areas that are our stronghold, especially now that our president, Bantu Holomisa, has declared himself as the premier candidate for the Eastern Cape. We're confident that other areas that has really revitalized the people in the Eastern Cape to come out and say the UDM is still around, and we're a player as well.
Thank you very much indeed, the United Democratic Movement. Let's bring in other players as well. This one is quite full. Baba, how are you? The United Africans Transformation?
No, good.
All right, feeling good?
Yeah, feeling good, man. Yes. We're excited to be here, and we're saying to South Africans, you are really making the right decision. This is the time to correct the mistakes of the past, and the solution is one. There's only one party that will bring back your dignity. That is United African Transformation.
It's too late to campaign now.
No, we're not complaining. We're not complaining. We're not complaining. We're just sharing with you. We're just thanking them. We're showing gratitude to them. Right. Yes. So we're excited to be here. It's just that we're not satisfied with the IEC, and we've raised this issue with the IEC. We raised it with the IEC. There are some of the houses that are maintaining the voting stations, and we've raised it with them. There are some of the stations where people just came with ballot papers in the school bag, and I've personally raised it with the CEO of IEC. So late arrival at the stations. The system is not working. And if you understand the demographic of this country, you understand that we have older people that cannot stand there for a long time. What is the thinking there? So when we have a system that is not working, we have older people standing for 4 hours. That is not right. That is not the respect to the older people. So I've raised that with the CEO. I've raised that with the officials. But after all, we're excited. South Africa, here is the key. That's one, unlock opportunities.
And definitely in terms of voter turnout,
Yes.
the numbers that we saw were incredible.
Yes.
South Africans really came out to participate in this democracy.
Yes.
What we've seen over the past is that there'd been a lot of discontent, a lot of voter apathy. But this time, there's something that really pushed South Africans to say they stood in those lines
Yes.
for hours and hours. We understand some of the voting stations closed in the early hours of this morning, 5, 6 o'clock this morning. That's incredible.
Yes. Remember, from 1994, South Africans were promised better life, better education, and so on and so forth. So they were very patient enough thinking that things will be better. But after 30 years, they realized that things are worse. Poverty is rampant. Unemployment is very high. Crime causation. Our education system is one of the poorest in the world. That's why now, 2024 elections, they said, that's far no further. Now let's participate in this, because if you don't vote, if you don't participate, you are giving your power to a mediocre type of leadership. That's the reason why now South Africans say, after 30 years of bad leadership, of poor service delivery, let's go in big numbers, let's go and choose the government that we want, and we're very excited about that.
How's the UAT doing? Let's have a look. UAT, I'm trying to run my eyes as quick.
Just after MK?
The UAT, just after MK. No, my eyes tend to fail me sometimes. Oh, on the right. Oh, yes, the UAT, 2,141. You're hoping, of course, that that's going to improve as the day goes by?
Remember, we're sitting at less than 15% of the total vote. And if you check the way we're actually performing in Limpopo, we even, managed to perform better than many of the political parties that are in the national parliament, for that matter. So we're doing well. It's too early. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Let's be patient. Let's be patient. Let's trust the process.
Well, some of the parties are incredibly excited here with what the situation looks like at the moment. But very early, once again, to tell. We will know, I guess, a bit later on into this afternoon, this evening, or even tomorrow morning, depending on how all of that does change. Where we are at this point, it's 13.99%. That's the voter districts that have been completed. You take a look at the ANC, 566,249, with the DA at 343,394, the EFF 112,643. And of course, very key to watch in this election, what the new political parties, how will they perform in this particular poll? Ayanda, let's continue to the next hour.